ta les lames vacarme s'en va dans nous.
When the candles on my birthday cake read 33, this is the world I stepped into. A place where each year is stolen away. Where beauty and grief are painted on the same canvas. It's called Expedition 33. And for me, this wasn't just another game launch. It was like staring at my own mortality in the face. In the beginning of Expedition 33, you step into the city known as Lumiere. Lumiere is like a proto-hybrid of Paris, France. But it's just a section that's been taken away, destroyed, put apart from the rest of the world. Now, how did that happen? Well, it's because of this character called the paintress. The paintress is known as to the folks in Lumiere as this old wicked woman that every single year she goes up onto the monolith that stares back at them at an island far off that shows the number of the people's year that she soon will take away. Every year, the paintress appears and erases a number from the monolith. Everyone of that age vanishes, gone in swirling strokes of pedestals. It makes you feel something really hard. At first, I didn't even expect this because all I did was step into this world. I saw way back in the distance the number 34. And we're introduced to Gustave and Maëlle, some of the two characters that I love so much about this game. Maëlle is like this young teenage girl that's been orphaned since her parents were taken away long ago. She doesn't know what happened to them. Apparently, they died. But Gustave is a 33-year-old that in this world is considered old. He undertook Maëlle, and just don't get it wrong, their relationship's not a flirtatious one of marriage or dating or anything like that. They're actually more of a brother and sister because Gustave adopted her, basically. Him and his sister adopted Maëlle and brought her under their own wing. See, that happens very commonly, even though you're like, they're only 10 years apart. That doesn't make sense. This happens very often in Lumiere in Expedition 33 because people fade away so quick that people are having to mature and grow up sooner. So the beginning of the game, you're shown this festival, the festival of the Gommage. The Gommage sounds like a great goodbye until we realize what that actually means. In the streets, the children are celebrating, they're running around, having a good time. You see the wonder and beauty. Everybody's handing out roses to the person of that year, their year of coming. And then it all ends at the night at the docks when we realize what the Gommage actually is. Everyone of that age vanishes, gone in swirling strokes of paint.
I'm here.
I'm
this isn't the end of our story. No, it's actually just the beginning. Because now that the time in the monolith says 33, the people of the age of 33 have to decide what they're going to do with their final year of their life. They can either choose to stay at home in Lumiere, live their final life in peace, and kind of say goodbye to their loved ones, wrap up everything, and let the Gamage take them. Or they could choose to volunteer to a group that has been settled a long time ago every single year called the Expeditioners. Now, Expeditioners, what they are people that go out to the island every single year to try to defeat the paintress, because their only hope is that one day this will come to an end. But in this world where every year they've been used to and accustomed to it seeing it be painted away, and so much so that they have celebrated it. That's why the Gamage is celebrated, because it's their only way to keep morality up, is to try to find the beauty in saying goodbye. So, but the Expeditioners, they're the people that are like, no, I volunteer my last year of my life, to be able to go out to the island, and I will try to defeat the paintress and her strokes of painting away. My 33rd birthday, I booted this game up, and I saw my number flicker on that stone. I knew right then this wasn't going to be just a game to me. We arrive onto the beach. Little did we know that many of us weren't even going to step more than 5 feet off that beach before our life was taken.
You're old. How did you survive the Gamage? Which expedition are you from?
This game shows grief like no other game has. It shows depression. It shows mortality and the thoughts, the emotions that everyday humans go through. It's so well, more than any other game has ever captured or ever done, that I think this team that made the game deserves every reward, every single type of trophy or game of the year fundings for their next games to come that they deserve. Because it has stolen and blown me away. I have never felt so many different feelings for a game, or feelings or emotions while I play a game, as I have for this game. Now, after most of our expeditioners have been slaughtered by this mysterious stranger, we are left with Gustav and then later Luma. They come and they're going to banding together, and they're like, we can't lose hope. We set out for this. We're going to do this. And that's when we find a passaging sign that says, Mael may be somewhere. When you step on the island, it's filled with wonder, beauty, grace. These landscapes are remarkable. There's nothing like them than any other world or game that I've seen. Every single thing looks like, well, a painting. It looks like somebody spent time crafting this world and didn't just give you some type of Unreal Engine slop. They did something remarkable. We also meet the Nevrons. The Nevrons are basically our enemy types that we're going to be fighting throughout this game, because every good game needs some enemies to go for, little sub-minions to the paintress. The Nevrons come in so many different shapes, sizes, looks, characters, and moves, attacks, and abilities. And that's not all. Some Nevrons aren't even inherently evil. I'm not even sure that they are evil yet, at this point. Because just to let you know, this is only my first video because I haven't even finished the game. I'm only on to Act 2. I'm only finished with Act 2, and I wanted to save Act 3 for another video so I can fully understand the world. Then you meet these fun characters called the Jestrels. The Jestrels are basically like these little wooden play toy come to life creatures. They're like the opposite of the Nevrons, where Nevrons are disgusting and hideous. Jestrels are kind of more fun and playful, and that's when I realized there's more to this game than just sadness and grief. There is some real charm here. We go over into the first place that I really stuck out to me, called the Jestrels Village, and it's beautiful. Warm lantern lights, the smell of bread from the market stalls, whatever type of foods they're selling, and the kids of the Jestrels darting through the alleys. It's kind of funny though, because the Jestrels, their whole entire personality revolves around brawling and fighting, but at the same time they're so cute and cuddly looking, and the way they talk is so weird. It's such a unique blend of personalities. They're like, hey, you better not mess with me, I'm gonna beat you up. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, sure. And every single time though we battle one, we beat the crap out of them. So they're really funny. Jestrel City is one of those places that you just wish you could go visit, freeze time, and actually see it in real life. Especially knowing how quickly time runs out in here, that I wish you could pause it for a little while and just take it in. Also, this island is where we meet SK later on. SK is full of humor and quick banters, and we can't mention SK without mentioning Francois. Francois, whose calm wisdom makes you feel things that just might be okay. Francois is like a big giant grump compared to SK. SK is like more of like, when I first played it, it kind of reminded me of Super 8, the balloon guy from Super 8 or whatever that animation's called, but even better because SK is like this funny little guy. He's not even little, he's huge, and all he cares about is these rocks. He'll pretty much do anything, be your best buddy for you if you get these special rocks for him. But then Francois, on the other hand, is the opposite. Move on though a little bit from the island, and I want to tell you about the bread and butter combat and player agency. Combat in Expedition 33 is your typical turn-based RPG, until it's not. Every single moment, every attack that you do, every single block or dodge is just combat in real time. A perfect parry can save your life. Miss it and you might cost you a whole entire life. This game, I haven't played a turn-based RPG that does it this well. I think this is the first one that actually, like, it doesn't just feel like, oh, here we're on the combat section. We're gonna get through it so we can progress through the story. This one's actually fun because you have to be engaged on the parts that aren't your turn. So like when it's the enemy's turns, they're gonna attack you. You might have to parry them, so you gotta be still paying attention. You parry. I play on Xbox, so you parry, you press RB, or you might have to do a certain attack that they try to swing at you. You jump and then you counterattack with it. It's just so much amazingness that is done into the combat that I am still blown away, and it's still fun to me if I play it over and over, even though I'm not even done with my first playthrough. Every single character has its own unique set of abilities, skills, and paths that they can choose through. Have things like burns that cause damage over time, as you expect, but if you stack that burn, like for example to Mael's ability, that if you stack their burn with a swift strike, all of a sudden she goes into more of this vestigious mode, because she's more like a fencing character, so she's got a balance of defense, aggression, and virtuous, and it's so many different type of play styles for every character. I thought they did it beautifully. It didn't just make every character feel kind of like other RPGs where they all just do certain abilities, like you got this mage type or this type. No, every single character feels completely different. You have, let's look at Gustav. Gustav has basically like a charge up type of ability play kit. His main thing revolves around charging up this main ability, and once you get to 10 to it, you can use it, and it's almost like a final hitter type. It's definitely a finisher kill. It doesn't always finish every big boss, but most bosses it will finish. So you basically build around trying to charge that up while maintaining your life. He also marks things for his team members. He does like that leadership skills trees. If you want to do that place there, he can do that. Then you have Luma. Luma is like basically your mage, runekeeper type of person. She could be your healer. She can be your fire mage. She could be a lightning mage, the earth and ground mage. She could do it all. It's her play style all revolves around building up these little points, these elements. You have the fire element, kind of like Avatar. You have the fire element, the earth element, the lightning, and ice. And if you build them up, you can do this one move called combustion and break them all together. That does a super attack that brings them all. Her playstyle is so fun. But my favorite character, easily, hands down, Ciel. Ciel is basically that woman that is like flirtatious with everyone, but at the same time, it was really cool that I found out she has a husband that passed away in a Gomage earlier, and so now she gave her life because she wanted to go out to the expedition and stop the paintress because of that story of her husband getting taken away from her. But the reason I like her so much, she reminds me of Gambit from Marvel, because she has these cards, and these cards build upon the different types. You have light and dark, and so if you mix the two, you get what's called Twilight, and those are going to unlock more powerful abilities that can stack up and do further damage or heal your team by basically absorbing the other Necron's chroma. It's one of the most fun playstyles ever. Further down the game, we get this guy called Verso. Verso, his playstyle is built all upon perfection. Perfection, the more you gain, like the more you counter something correct, the more you do ability, and you do it perfect by pressing taps onto them. The more perfection you make, the higher his damage will do, or the higher that his leadership skills can go. The more shells you can build for your teammates, the more defense, the more parrying, the more heals that can come out. His perfection mode is all but Verso's about. Then one of the more unique characters that I've never seen a game do right is Monoko. Monoko is like a gestural that's learned how to talk from Verso. Verso taught this gestural how to talk, and since gestrals are already so concerned about combat, well, Monoko's the one gestural that's actually out exploring with other expeditioners doing something meaningful in the world. But Monoko's so unique because basically any enemy you come across in the game, almost every single enemy, if you have Monoko in your team party while you're facing them, and then you defeat them, well, all of their abilities, or their main ability attack, now becomes yours as Monoko. And you have this balance wheel. Balance is where he starts at, but then he goes over to agility, can go over to like powerful defense. He has so many things. It's amazing. If you stack it right, his stances and his cards, and you choose the right ability to copy from the foots of the Necrons that he gathered, you are going to have a blast with Monoko. The combat, hands down, amazing. Then there's the customization. I didn't even realize that there was this much customization in the game till later and later on. And don't worry, a lot of it feels daunting at first. It feels overwhelming. Just keep playing through the game, and it all starts to click one day. It's weird. You don't need to know the ins and out of it when you start playing, or even in the middle of it when you start playing. Like, I'm just now, really, it's all just starting to click now. But basically, let me try my best to explain it simply. You have these Lumina points. Luminas are little things that you could find around the world, collectibles basically, or sometimes you get them from defeating certain bosses. Lots of different activities will gain you Lumina points. And Pictos are the next thing. Pictos are basically perks. If you ever play any type of game that has a perk system, like that gives you a buff or an upgrade of some sort, that's what a Picto is. Pictos can also be found around the world, but mainly are gotten from defeating other bosses. Now, that's not all, though. The system, the way it does, it lets you shape your fighters in a way that actually matters and changes their playstyle completely if you want. Want to hit harder, or do you want to break the enemy's stamina faster? Or do you are you sick of parrying and dodging and you just want to get hit every single time and just tank through it? Well, that's what I did at Minoko, and you can do that if you want. If you get the right pictos and the right type of cards to go with it, you can really make your character basically how you want them to be. You can decide how you survive. That's basically what Luminas and Pictos let you do. You get to decide your character's perks and abilities even further. For example, since I talked about Mael has an ability, combustion, maybe it's not the right one. Mael has an ability that sets burning, makes an enemy burn. There's also a Picto called Burning Mark. So basically what it does, this Picto, every single time you get a burn on that person, it lets it burn 3 more times, 3 more rounds of playthroughs. So it enhances that ability already. It further turns it along, which plays very well into her kit, because if you use the next ability, you now go into the virtuous stance, and the virtuous stance is one of her most strong stances. So if you want strong, beefy Mael, you go do that type of Picto into your playset, and it really help you with that. This is just some of the instances and some of the examples of the crazy fun combat that this game has. The options are unlimited, it feels like, and you'll have hours and hours. If you really want to flesh out this game and level up your characters fully to the max, you can do that, and I guarantee you won't even get bored. Every great game cannot be anything without amazing music. And look at the world while you just listen to the music. I encourage you to at least try it once. Just sit there, listen to this. When you're just exploring, searching around, usually the music's more mellow tone and beautiful. But then once you're in battle, the battle orchestra swells like it's scoring your life or death moments right in a picture. In the quiet, a single piano note can feel like a memory fading, but then when you go against a boss, it feels like you're going against a boss because the music starts pumping you up, especially towards Act 2 at the end. That's where I'm at. The music starts like, oh my gosh, there's like heavy metal now. Where did this come from? Heavy French metal. I've never heard of it before, but I like it. Why? There is a French elegance in every single part of the music. Strings, brass, soft woodwinds that makes the world feel alive. I've played hundreds of RPGs who have ever had a soundtrack that feels like it's breathing with the story, and this one does it so well. The soundtrack will pull emotions into you that you didn't know you had. It'll take emotions out that you didn't know you had, or that you wanted to get rid of, or maybe you put in some that you didn't want to experience. So much built in the music and love and craft that they did, and they did it amazingly. The more you travel, the more these people become your family. You laugh with them at camp, trade stories, share victories, and then there's a few things in this story that have really pissed me off. Really pissed me off. And one of them is in Act 1 towards the end. It's going to curveball all of you. And I warn you now, there is spoilers. Spoilers ahead. So if you haven't played this game and you want to, if you're somehow interested, I say turn away now and then come back to the video once you've played through this part. But for you that don't care about spoilers, or you have beat the game, let's dig into it. So, at the end of Act 1, we start going, and we collected SK's rocks, so now SK agrees to go swim across the lake, the river, or the stream for us to get closer to the paintress. Well, as that's happening, a part of Mael and Gustav, since they're celebrating their victory over this creature, and he starts throwing these rocks, because they do this all the time. They used to do this together, because Gustav always threw rocks towards the monolith. But now he's throwing the rocks, and in the background we see in dread the mysterious stranger approaching again. And this is where something happened that I never thought a game would have the balls to do.
Well, you know, like I always say, it's not about the rock. It's more about...
Gustav.
Run.
Run. Please run.
The whole time that this is happening, I'm like, no, no, no. I'm serious. I was in my chair playing a game, and I'm like, don't you dare, don't you dare. And they did. They actually did it. I was in denial for so long. For so long in the game, I thought that they're going to bring him back, though. They're going to bring him back. And surely, maybe Verso's him. I thought Verso was like an older version of Gustav. I didn't understand. I'm like, but it doesn't somewhat look like him, but it kind of does. It was pissing me off the whole time. They just killed Gustav off, which Gustav was the heart of the whole camp. He was the whole reason of the expedition. It pissed me off so much. I couldn't believe this even happened, or they even did this. And yet at the same time, I appreciate the balls that they had to actually kill off what we thought was the main character. And his death isn't some grand heroic send-off either. It's quiet. It's human. He wasn't just a fighter. He was your anchor. He hits like it's losing someone in real life. Because Mael has to just watch who grew up to be her father figure right in front of her dying. And as he's just telling her to go, but she said, promise we're going to run off together if he returns. Well, he can't. So he stands and tries to fight off the stranger as he's bleeding out and dying. And I'm still in denial of this game. Suddenly, the irreversible happens, and he's gone. Now we're into Act 2, and at this point, I'm still pissed off from what just happened in Act 1 and still don't believe it. And I'm like, don't give me this Verso guy. I don't want him. I don't want this Verso guy. I want Gustav. Bring me Gustav. I don't want this dumb Verso. I don't care if it's a new character. I was in so much disbelief and anger and like rage at that point. I couldn't believe they did that to me. Like, I ended the night right there, that playthrough of the game. I just ended the night and I went to bed thinking of like, I can't believe they did that. But the next day I started playing the game again, and Act 2 opens up and opens the world up even further, even bigger, stronger, and in ways I never knew could happen in a video game. This is where we approach even stronger enemies and more places that look like they belong in a painting. You meet new allies. This is where you start to form a relationship with Verso. You start to form a relationship with Minoko. And you sharpen your skills and start to believe maybe, just maybe, you can end this cycle of the paintress. But first they go and we're going through Verso. And Verso's this mysterious character. The whole entire game, he's mysterious. And still at this point, I've just now kind of realized who he actually is. But I haven't finished the game yet, and I want to keep that mind fresh for when I do. Every time, I think we're getting closer and closer to the end of the game. I'm like, surely this must be one of the final missions. Nope, I'm wrong. Now, I want to go over another shattering twist. I mentioned upon them earlier. But spoiler warning, again, a next spoiler warning. If you have only gotten to Act 2 of this game, turn away now, keep playing it, and then come back. If you have finished it, or if you don't care about spoilers, then stay with me now. This is at the part where we finally collected the power and things that we need to break through the Paintress's barrier. We've gotten over there. She has this huge, what we presumed was the Paintress herself, this huge portrait statue of her, and we just get ready to fight it. but every single one of our attacks do nothing. Nothing at all affects it. Then we realize, no, wait, the paintress is actually above. Her heart is up above inside the monolith. So we enter the monolith, and we finally get to the spot where you do fight the paintress. And this battle is a storytelling weave all together, and this is where the music really got me going. Watch some of these scenes are like a movie put into a battle scene that you have to be dead. So it's hard to pay attention to parry or block or to jump when you're so like mesmerized by what's going on. And I feel like they did it on purpose. And in fact, I know they did it on purpose because that's what the paintress is all about. It's about painting beauty and darkness at the same time. We need to stop her. We need to kill this villain, make sure she never gets to paint away another soul again. In the end, you actually do kill the paintress. You take her life away, and you learn that it was actually Versal's mother. At least a reflection of Versal's mother. He killed his mother basically to end the cycle. And Mael, this whole time, we are led to believe that she is the paintress's likeness of her daughter. Like they keep being reminded of their daughter from Mael. But regardless, as you're defeating the paintress, there's something weird and beautiful about it that I still don't really fully understand. This is what happens at the last moments while you're killing the paintress.
Careful, Verso.
What other game has your enemy, the main boss you're supposed to be fighting, heal you, give you shielding as you're taking her life away? Confused the heck out of me, but showed me that the paintress is more complex than we thought.
Rest now. Things will be better soon.
Now, finally, our expedition has conquered. They set up their flag and they go home. They are proud to tell everybody the paintress is no more. She will be painting no longer again. And as they return home, this is when we find out the truth about the paintress.
Brother, I tire of the conflicts and deceptions that plague our family and theirs. So, I entrust you with this letter. Whether you give it to her is up to you. I'm at peace with what's to come. When the time comes, I hope you will be too. Maya, it's a strange feeling watching you with my brother, laughing and smiling, without the scars or the memories that afflict me. Alicia, as she was meant to be, not this painted version that I am. My family, a facsimile of yours, and this world, a mirror, painted by your mother, the paintress, to stave off her grief. Seeing your expedition through would plunge us all into the abyss. For in ridding the world of the paintress, you'd lose the sole force standing against the one who would erase us, the one who invokes the flowers of the gamache. An act of love, for he does love her. Your father. On her monolith, she paints a warning for us all, of the few she can save as her power wanes. We all wish for our families to thrive. Your family, however, believes only one can survive. But perhaps you'll find another way. You who have lived amongst us, perhaps you differ from your father and your sister, as I differ from mine. Your mother paints life, whilst your father, death. What will you paint?
She wasn't killing to be cruel. She wasn't keeping everyone's lives in her own hands and painting them away without cause. Without her, they would have faded away much sooner. Not one by one per year, but immediately all together. And the world, without her now, empties.
Fall back every time I get close. High hopes always end up like smoke. Tell me why I still chase what I lost. Why the pain feel better than the cost. Lights fade and I'm still wide awake. Tried love but it bends till it breaks. Maybe I was made for the fall, but I still want it all, I still want it all.